Get this started. Let's get this party started. Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be interviewing Kirtika. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you as Inner Rebirth because that's all I see on social media, but I wanted to pronounce your actual name. So, thank you for being here. I really want to I see your post on social media, obviously, and it's very good content. I love everything you're talking about on Instagram, on Threads. So I really want to get to know you more, your spiritual journey, hear all about your journey. Have you always been spiritual? Give us a little like rundown of your life, basically.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. I also loved your energy through the threads, Instagram. That's where I connected you
Yeah.
on threads. Talking about spirituality, to be honest, I wasn't very spiritual. Like growing up, I was exposed to spirituality and religion, but I always had this skeptical thing about my dad doing those woo-woo things. I'm like, why do you do that?
Really?
And and the thing is, like, he just never explained it. And I'm like, okay, I need to know. And he was always used to be like, oh, our ancestor used to do that. And I was like, I get it, but I just need to know why this incense is lighting up.
That's so funny.
So it just kind of brought me as a skeptical way until until my spiritual awakening happened. And you must have known like how it starts. For me, it started with a lot of numbers. I was like, why am I keep seeing all these numbers everywhere? Like, what is it?
It gives me
And
chills.
then and then the birds and the animals, like different patterns I was seeing. And I was open to it. It didn't make sense to me. I mean, you can Google it, like what is 111 and all of that. And I was just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna be open to it until it really shook my world.
Yeah.
I
Yep, it
mean,
will do that.
I'm yeah, I'm pretty used to of being shaken up in my life. So I'll get back to the story, like how I got here to this point. I used to be very shy growing up. I wouldn't go and speak up and, just be that bubbly right now. Until I'll take you back to the 2015. So that was not my spiritual awakening, but I think it was leading me towards that. So 2015, I came to New Zealand and I was with my husband and we were just, like newly coming to the new country. I've never been to any other country. So we kind of come here together. And in 2018, we took a trip together to Australia for a vacation for Christmas holidays for 3 days. So we went on 25th December, and the next day he died. He
That's
drowned in the waterfall in front of me.
my song.
And that is like one of the moments which was, like crucial moments in your life. You're like, oh my gosh, like you're just not expecting it. And especially somebody who's very codependent and just in their, like very homely girl kind of. There was a time for me, I was like, okay, like I have two choices. I can just lay on the ground and just, be like that and ask for help. I mean, it's help was there. Or I can just deal with it. So I remember because it was the Christmas time, it took me 15 days to get his body to India. Because at that time, I was living in New Zealand, we were in Australia, it's a new country. Like, I mind you, I'm like first time there. And I have to take his body to India, and I've never traveled myself alone. So it was a lot. It was a lot
I'm
to do.
sorry. That sounds terrible. Oh my
I
God.
know. But I feel like that was the point which really shifted everything for me. And I remember when I cremated him on my birthday, it was 8th of January. That was the first time I felt that, the elements talk to you. The fire like told me that, oh, it's your birthday. I asked the fire, like, what I'm gonna do with my life? Because that was the question I was sat with. I was like, I don't know, like, what should I do with my life? I've never thought about it. So the fire said to me, how exciting you're gonna find yourself. And at that time, I was like, what? And I came back New Zealand. I was like, okay, I had a 6 months visa left. I had to renew this and I get my life together. So I definitely did. I changed everything around me. Like, like being to a shy girl to a confident girl and, just getting things together. So after that, I feel like when I got my residency approved, it was like a promise to myself. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do something purposeful because before that I couldn't. I just had to do all those rules and like obligations for the visas and all. But I think I just didn't follow up to my promise that I did it to myself. And I was just kind of like chasing money. Like I did IT job. Oh my gosh, like it's another story as well, how I got it without the education. I got that. I was earning a lot of money, but nobody knew that when I was in that job, I was literally crying on the beach in the lunch break because I was like, uh, no, I don't want to do that. But I don't want to go into that, but after that, when the spiritual awakening happened, I got laid off from the jobs 3 times in a row. Like whatever I was doing, universe is like something was happening, I was like, oh my God, I'm such a good worker. Like, why people do that to me? And when it happened the third time, I was like, hang on, there must be something here. And I took my time with it. Of course, I cried a lot, like a lot. And I remember I posted a video on TikTok, me crying and writing it. I'm feeling very lost. And I slept. The next day I woke up, the video went viral. It was so buzzy. Like it went viral, and to my surprise, people were so nice.
Yeah.
So that gave me hope. I
Oh,
was like, wow, there's something here. I don't need to know right now, but it'll show up. So I just kept on showing up on TikTok and I just did my thing. And while I was not working, I was like, okay, let's figure out yourself. Like, universe, show me how good it can get.
love that.
And from there, I gave myself 3 months. I was like, okay, 3 months getting mentorship, just, really diving deep into yourself. And I remember my mentor told me, she's like, when are you going to stop asking permission to be who you want to be? And that really stuck with me. I was like, yeah, like I've always been the person who guide other people. Like one of those people come in because they feel safe and they tell their whole life story, and then you kind of hold space for them and you guide them like you can go this way because you can understand the patterns and what they go through. So I was like, what is stopping me to be a guide? Me.
Mm.
So, and at that time, people were asking me on my TikTok, like, hey, do you do one-on-one session? Because I never thought about doing that. I was just, speaking of the things that I wanted to say. And I saw the opportunities. I was like, let's give it a go. Like, have that nice, playful energy. My session was sold within like 24 hours. Like, I got 2 sessions in a like row. And I was like, someone literally paid me for that.
Oh
And
my
at
God.
that time, I offered a tarot reading because my intuition was like really tuned on. I was like, I can do this. Like, if I can do this for myself, I can do this for other people. And I know how to read it. I was learning about it. And again, there was like a test on the same day as well. Like the universe was really testing me. And I was like, nah, I'm standing on it. I'm standing on my business. That I'm just gonna do it. And when that call happened, it was like one of those moments. I was like, I was just literally sitting here. There was the same location I was sitting at. This girl was just so cute. She was from Canada. She was like, like the younger version of you who's just asking advice in a different area of her life and career and all of that. And my advice helped her so much that she even asked me to book another session within like 1 month. I was like, I can see the opportunities here. And they just, bring you that fulfillment. And that's where I was like, I am meant to do that. It started to make sense, like why I got laid off. Oh, IT. I was earning money, but I was, basically that random person on the desk having a nap after lunch. And after that, I was like, wow, this is literally a new world. And my journey just started evolving from there. And now, even my work has evolved, like from tarot reading. I still weave the intuition into it, but for me, it's more about the mindset and helping people in finding the wisdom in their emotional triggers. So whatever they have gone through, like I have gone through, how can I just hold space for them while they unravel their own thing? I'm like, see, you already know that. So
Yeah.
guiding them to their inner world, and that's where the inner rebirth came. And I'm like, I'm gonna help you in rebirthing yourself. So that
Okay,
is
that
the
makes sense. Yeah.
like a brief journey weaving all together.
Wow, that is a powerful journey. Like, that's a lot. I can't imagine going through that. Oh my goodness. So you're still coaching right now? You still
Yeah.
coach people? That's awesome. I love that. When you spoke about the fire and you said that it spoke to you, like, did you hear another voice or was it like your own thoughts or voice that you were hearing or what was that?
No, it wasn't another voice. It was just me, but like the higher version of me, we call it higher self. And there was the voice. I was like, whoa, she's empowered. That
Mm-hmm.
voice, whatever that is, it's very empowered. So it was like a, because the fire, because when you put a, you know how fire goes up, it was like giving a sign to me that yes, it's gonna burn, but I'm gonna take you up. So I was like, okay, it's something higher speaking to me. So
Mm.
that was the voice that I
Yeah,
heard.
I was curious because sometimes I'll get, I guess I call them downloads or
Mm.
insights. It's kind of, I don't hear another voice. I know some people will actually hear other voices, so I just wasn't sure if that was the case for you or not. Do you channel like to the spiritual realm or no?
For me, the channeling is more about the download. So let's say like if I'm talking to somebody and this divine download drop in, like that's where like it's not just like a proper like I'm talking to an entity or something.
Mm.
Because I feel like I have set that boundary myself. Uh, because in that realm, I feel like you have to have a very discernment that you enter you let those entities enter to you if you're open. But for me, I'm like, uh, I'm gonna do it my way. Could you please do it this way? Because I don't want to do it this way. So I think for me, it's more the divine downloads. I'm like, oh, I feel just something to share with you.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's how it is for me. Everything. If I'm speaking with someone and I will feel, or yeah, I'll feel or think something, that's where it's like, oh, this, it just like comes to me basically.
Mm.
Same with you. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think it's funny that you mentioned like before your spirit or during your spiritual awakening, you were saying you started seeing repeating numbers. Like I remember before my spiritual awakening, I saw just like one girl posted about or post that she saw like repeating numbers, and I was like, no idea what that meant or anything. And then it, once I had my spiritual awakening, like not immediately, but like later during down the line, I started seeing that. I was like, oh, that's what it is. Like, so it's funny that that happened too.
It's
Cause
very fascinating as well. You're like, oh my God, there's another two to do on the driving plate. And
yeah,
have you noticed, Shelby, like the numbers also change in a sequence. So for example, you might be seeing like 222, 111, 555. And later down the line, it'll change to like 811, 711, 211. So it's like they shift a lot.
yeah,
Have you
yeah.
noticed it?
I mean, I see a lot of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll see like repeating. I'm trying to think what other like just repeating numbers like 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. Like I saw 4, 4, 4 before starting this video type of thing. So those are usually the numbers that I see. I don't see per se, like you said, like 8, 1, 1 things. I don't usually see those numbers. I don't know what those numbers mean.
I'm
Did
still decoding. Like this
okay.
811 is has been following me
All right.
everywhere. I'm like,
Oh, so
bro,
you're trying to
could you please fasten this process? Because I don't want to search now. I just want your information to come in through me.
you're trying to figure out what it means.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it could be a combination of 8 and 1, but eight
Mhm.
abundance and new beginnings in abundance, and I can see it, I can feel it, but I just wanted a little bit more confirmation. Could you
Yeah.
please?
Yep. It's same for all of us. It's like, okay, can you give me like a signier sign, please?
Yeah. Yeah. I want more sign.
Yeah, yeah. I know the biggest one for me is 1, 2, 3, 4. I see that a lot, and I interpret that as like I'm kind of like moving up, like leveling up in a sense, like I'm in the right direction or going down the right path or
Yeah,
something.
it's like a ladder even, like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Love that. Um, so I guess let's dive into, I guess, what you specifically work with clients. Like you said that you um do like subconscious work, inner work, inner like working with your inner critic, things like that, or is that like the majority of what you work with clients?
Uh, It really depends from a client to client. It's I open the sessions with very open energy, like let's talk, and it's not like a proper coaching session. Let's just take you from A to B. It's like, okay, I'm just another human in front of you, trying to understand you. And from there, I let them speak and see, is it the subconscious belief that's hidden underneath? Or is that person stuck in that emotional pattern so much? How can I help them? And from there, I listen to my intuition, like what they need the most right now. Because I feel like when you give too much information to somebody, it just
Mhm.
gets very overwhelming. And I also take the permission as well, like I do have both sides to it, and which one relates to you more, like which one you're more open to. And that's where I shared, okay. So for example, someone is sharing their life story with me. I'm like, okay, I noticed you said this thing. Why did you say that? And where did you hear that first? So that's going to the belief system, like where did they learn about that? When it comes to the emotional side of it, if they'll, get the very emotional while sharing this story, I'm like, I noticed while you were speaking about this thing, you were getting emotional. Would you like to talk about it more? And how would you express that emotion when you're not in front of me or the people around you? So it's like a very open space for people. On the other side, I would say my whole process works from there to lead them to their own wisdom. Like, you already have all the answers. I just help you unravel it. So, for example, I think the most common one comes in the I'm not enough. So, for example, that someone would come in and they're like, I have all the education and but I just don't feel ready to start my coaching or the business. And I said to them, okay, how many certificates are we collecting here? Like,
Yeah.
because I can hear from your lived experience that you have it in you. So it is literally underneath that you're feeling not enough. Oh, where did you hear that first? Oh, do you feel any emotion at that time? And sometimes I share the somatic practices as well, because like when you're working with the subconscious, it communicates to your nervous system, and people feel kind of lost when it comes to the surfacing, the old programming. So I share them like every time you feel overwhelmed, this emotion comes in, make sure you do this practice. And from there, I see they light up. They're like, yes, yeah, yeah. It just like taking that mental fog and just making them aware of their own light. That's what lights me up in my work. And some of the session that I have noticed, people are coming up for the growth mindset. Like they didn't have somebody to help them with their setting their mindset or just setting up their life in a way which feels fulfilled, because I come from a South Asian community. And over there, it's mostly like you have this option, go for this, and it's like chasing that status quo, but they kind of don't feel fulfilled in it. And some people have asked me that how can I teach them to build strong foundations of aligned life? And I was like, okay, maybe this area is calling me in as well. And another thing that I do like multi-dimensional thing. This is like what I figured it out myself because again, I don't want to put myself into this box of niche, like pick one thing and just do it. I'm like, I'm gonna do it everything and I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah.
And another thing that is kind of related to my spiritual awakening before I get later from the jobs is I felt a pull to go to Bali. Like I was just telling everybody at my workplace, I'm going to Bali, I'm doing a course, but I don't know what the course is. So when I got later from the job, I was um researching about what I like, what brings joy to me, what are my interests, and I was like, okay, dancing is the one for me. And I started going to the somatic dances here, which was also like experiment. I was like, gonna give it a go. And I remember when I was on this dance floor when it finished, it was a full body chill, like, full body, yes, this is what I want to do. Like, this is what I want to do. And of course, I had a resistance with it as well. I'm like, oh, that is the path. Like, I want to go. But like, pull that, like, you feel resistant.
Yep.
And I asked the girls, like, if they can mentor me. And guess what? They redirected me to their teacher. So the teacher is actually from New Zealand, but she does trainings in Bali. It
Wow.
just made sense at that time. I was like, I know, universe. The synchronicities
That's
is
why. Yep.
synchronicities here. And I just went for it. And I think the resistance underneath, when I sat with it, it was more about, how I've shared about my traveling experience, what happened in my life. It was underneath that fear that what if something goes wrong? What if, and I'm like, I don't want to buy into that. I don't. I'm just gonna experience life. I'm gonna see a different place. I'm gonna learn a skill. Just gonna give it a go. Because that's how you overcome anything. And I've overcome so many things like that. And I did. And I became a somatic dancer. Like, like created something out of scratch. And when it's coming to like actually providing the services to other people, my yoga teacher said to me, she's like, do you want to co-facilitate somatic dance? I was like, ooh, I feel that resistance here. If I can do it, she's like, you can do it.
Yep.
And I remember on 8th of the 8th, I had my first event. It was sold out. It just literally,
Wow.
it was like so buzzy when she told me, she's like, it's sold out. And I was like, see, I was meant to do those things. So it was like, um, puzzle pieces put together. And I'm now finding a way, how can I offer this in a digital space? I've started sharing my contents related to somatic dance, but I'm still figuring it out, the tech and the live stream and all of that.
That's
And my clients have asked me, they're like, can you please do that? I'm like, let me figure out the tech, like my nervous system is still expanding. Let me hold it.
that's what I was gonna ask you if you do it like in person or online. Do you do it like weekly at a studio or do you just do specific events?
Specific events in person at the moment.
Yeah. Well, you should definitely do online too.
Yeah.
Once you feel like you're able to and figure it out because I totally relate to that. Like I think that's something that I'm meant to do and I've wanted to do like teaching dance, but I have a lot of like resistance to it. Like I'm not ready, I'm not good enough to teach dance and so I totally relate to that.
I
And
think resistance teaches us as well that this is where the growth is. And once we just, I always say that your willpower is much stronger than the belief that's holding you back. And once you just lean into it and let go of that perfectionist that just tells you that you gotta get the playlist right, you gotta get the lighting right, you gotta get this and that. You're like, shh, let me just have fun.
Yes, that's my brain every second. It's like, what about this and this and this and that and that and this?
You know what? Another thing that I've noticed is people who think this way, they actually care about other people. If you really think about it, you're caring, you want to give your best and have people the good experience. And that is where the transformative people, I feel like, struggle with because they know their medicine, they know that, but it's just getting that part. You're like, I'm gonna just go for it.
Yeah. It's like I want it to be
Yeah.
perfect. I want people to get the most out of what I'm giving them, basically.
Yeah.
That- That's funny. Um, so how old were you when you had your spiritual awakening?
Um, I would say it started with 30 to 31. I'm 32 right now, but mostly last year was the one for me. I would say 31 to 32.
So it's only been a couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I that. Um, what was I gonna say? I mean, back to, I guess, dancing. Um, did you feel resistance? Because I was looking at your videos while I was waiting for you to jump on. And and I know your video is like connecting with your sensual side, sensual dancing. Did you feel resistance towards that just because I know like as women that's kind of like a taboo thing. Did you feel resistance towards that?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Because when it comes to somatic dance, you're moving like a fluid. And when you tap into those things, you realize, oh my God, my hips are so tight. And if I'm moving it, am I moving the right way? Am I being extra, especially when you're going for somatic dances in the spaces like that? When I wasn't even teaching, I'm like, do people think I'm weird? Like, can I just express myself fully? But I think what helped me the most is the sound because that's how the somatic dances are created. Like soundscape is created in a way that just don't let you think, and that's why you get into your body. And when you don't let this make this chatterbox and you drop into that body, you and the sound helps you, that's where you realize you're like, I'm meant to move this way. No wonder why choreography just never felt the same for me.
Yeah,
So
I
I feel
prefer,
like, hmm,
yeah, I was gonna say I prefer more like freestyle flowing than choreography.
yeah, definitely. Because it's more joyful, isn't it? Because with choreography, you're remembering the step. Oh my God, I forgot this one. Oh, I have to be perfect. But when you're just, dance is meant to be fun.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you feel any sort of shame from society, like as women,
Mm,
or no?
I would say when I came from the Bali, it was for the point for me to actually show that on social media. And I was like, what's the best way to do that? Because people would be like, what is she doing? And in a way, because I feel like as a woman, when you put those things out there, you get perceived in a very different way. That was one of my fear. That's where I feel like that's where my mind started working. You're like, what if you're just in the shadow? Like you must have seen my videos, like I'm dancing in like
Oh
just a
yeah.
darkness. I was like, what if I can just weave that in there?
Yeah.
And when I started playing with that, it just became normal for me. And one day I was like, okay, I don't want to be in the darkness anymore. Can I just set up a camera in the afternoon and just dance? And I did that. And it was perceived very nicely by other women. I noticed it. She's like, wow, I love the way you're moving. And I love the way you're dressed up as well. I was wearing the same top. She's like, wow, and she was asking this question. She's like, how are you so comfortable wearing, these? And I just said to her, because I worked with my shame.
Mhm.
And I just don't feel shameful in expressing myself anymore. So I think it was the processing of firstly letting the mind just be like, hey, we're gonna work this together. Like we have this thing together. And mind was like, okay, let's start with the shadows. Once I'm comfortable there, then moving that way. Because I think that's what emotions are. You just work with it and process it.
Mhm.
And a lot of cry as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course, you can't forget that. You got to do that. Let it
Yeah,
all
a lot
out.
of cry which happens laying on the floor, like, why
Yeah,
did that happen to me? And
exactly. You gotta
yeah,
feel it to release it, And
yeah.
I think dancing pole that obviously brought up shame from worrying about what other people are gonna think of me, and that it's kind of looked down upon in society, like women shouldn't be sensual or sexual, and doing pole has really kind of released that and work, like I've been able to like work through it. I don't know if completely 100%, but it's definitely helped a lot. So
That's amazing. I also love watching you being on the pole and just, it's just so amazing to just experience that sensual energy. It's fiery, it's fun. Like, I'm like, yes, more pole videos, please.
no, I want to do more, but I don't have a setup right now, so it's like ugh, I need a setup so badly. But oh, the reason why I asked, we only have like 4 minutes, so I'll try to make this quick. But I was curious when your spiritual awakening happened, because I saw another video where you talked about how you feel like you look physically better now than you did when you were younger. And I can totally like relate to that. Like the more that you heal, I feel like it almost shows in your physical, like you start glowing more. So I wanted to talk about just how society thinks that, the older you get, the your looks like deteriorate, but it can almost like you can almost reverse age in a sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I feel like we all are born with some karma that we have to go through. And spiritual awakening is like on steroids, like you burn the karma so fast. And not just your age or the body shape. I've noticed your eyes light up. Your
Mhm.
eyes are just, that bright. So
Mhm.
I totally agree that that was another thing people have put it on just to suppress.
Mhm.
But like when you go through spiritual awakening, you don't suppress, you process and release it. That's why you're able to feel lighter. You become so light, and that's why all the karma is just burned.
Yeah, I
Mm.
look at old photos of me and I'm like, oh my gosh, I looked like so like you can just see it on my face and in my eyes. It's like I was almost, I don't know, like it was like death, kind of not really death, but like, not alive. And then I like look at myself now, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's
Yeah, as you become brighter.
yeah, exactly. Love that. Okay, we only have like a couple more minutes. So, is there any last final words that you wanted to say or anything or
Well, I would say to the viewers who are watching that if you're going through spiritual awakening, it's normal to feel chaotic. You're like life is ending, but you both can listen from both of us that the more you feel, the more you heal. So don't be afraid to feel. And if you need help in processing emotions, you can reach out to me. And if you're open, they can reach out to you.
yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Where could they find you on social media?
So I have different channels. So my main one is the TikTok because I just love it. The TikTok Inner Rebirth, and then I'm on Instagram Inner Rebirth, the same name. Threads is more like the fun vibe. You can just hang around there. Same Inner Rebirth, and then I have a YouTube channel, same Inner Rebirth. And I also have a website as well, which is linked on my social media.
Okay, awesome. I think we're gonna have to do another video because this was not enough time, and I feel like we have so much more to dive into. But thank you for coming on here, and this was great.
Oh, thank you so much, Shelby. I loved connecting with you, and we will definitely do it more.
Yes, please. All right. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a good day.
You too.